in California.
Nice. Hey everyone, I'm here with the lovely Minerva, and I just got her all prepped for her fill, or 30-day manicure, whichever you want to call it. But this is her sad thumbnail. So she's done really, really well. If you go back on my YouTube, I think back in October, we looked it up, and it was Halloween that we did her full set. So she's been going on average 4 to 5 weeks. Once she went even a little bit longer, and she said no problems. She does a really, really, really great job keeping them up. So I just wanted to show you guys how to get this prepped and ready, and how I'm going to fill this to get this back in gear. So now a lot of people that maybe have a wider thumb, hers is on the verge of being too wide for a normal form. And for some people, they don't know how to make it wider. And if you need to, you can always cut your form right down the center. And then I'm going to do the same here. And sometimes, you know, you have a smaller form that is a normal salon form like this, and then maybe it's not an extreme form, and you like to use salon forms instead of extreme forms, and you just create a wider form like this. So for a client, if you have a toe thumb, so I know my nail tech friends out there know what those are, toe thumbs. They're really wide and sometimes really short, and a normal form won't fit. You just create a wider form. And it's very simple. Hey, Cindy. Hers is not that wide, obviously, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how you can do that. But this will make it a little bit easier just to get her form on, just because hers was on the verge of being a little bit small. That crease, I just want to make sure that that's nice and smoothed out. Probably stick it the other way around. Stick it on top so it's not in my way. There we go. All right, so if they have skin that sticks up in the front, push your form down and push the skin down. She doesn't on this one, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you do, don't be afraid to just push the skin down. It's not going to hurt them at all. So you just want to get that past any part of her nail that is going to be grown out. All right. And I'm going to grab my lovely Trinity. This is what I've been using for her nails and for most fills these days. I really like it. And as you saw, all I did was just cleanse with my nail prep. So you don't have to do a lot of primers or anything like that. Her nails have had absolutely zero lifting with using 0 primers. So, and that's even on a nail biter. So I'm just going to very lightly dab it around the cuticle. Leave a 1-week growth. You don't want to touch the cuticle. By leaving that 1-week growth, it allows your color, which we only just do a very sheer blush on her, or she was thinking of maybe going to a sheer white, like glass white or koi today. I think she's still on the, are you still on the fence?
Still, yeah.
She's still on the fence, so she's not quite sure. So once you get your smooth layer on top, if you feel like you don't have enough and there's a spot that's up, you can always drizzle a little bit, but that looks good, nice and smooth. I'm glad that that little tip about making your own form was helpful. That's awesome. Sometimes I'm like, how do I divulge new information? Because I've done a ton of these videos and I just feel like I need to give you guys some new tips now and then. All right, so after doing 2 nails, I'm going to flash cure this. Go in 2 seconds, please. 1, 2. Cindy says she loves this product. I do too. I'm so impressed with how well Trinity holds up. It's been delightful. I don't use it so much to build a nail with. You'll see on the thumb that I'll actually get out my natural to do the extension with, because I like a little bit harder gel for an extension, but for the fill part, Trinity is delightful. And I'm using the 106 brush. It's really important if you're doing this technique where you're just glossing over. If you don't want to be finish filing, if you want a completely smooth nail, you need to be using a flat brush. Don't use an oval brush or one with a belly, or you're going to get a bumpy nail. Bumpy nails have to be finish filed. So a lot of people are always like, oh, I wish I could do it without finish filing like Jess. And, you know, my number one thing is what brush are you using? Because you're never going to get a smooth glossed nail with an oval brush. They have a belly, the belly puts in a divot. And to get a completely smooth nail, all you need is a flat brush. 2 seconds, because it'll gloss over it. Oh, thanks, Heather. Heather was complimenting my nails. These are I know they're pretty right now. I'm just back to work today after a nice break for Mardi Gras. And so they're pretty until I start doing nails like crazy. So I should do a lot of videos the next few days before I really screw them up. Because they'll just progressively get worse and worse. The few days before I left, I made sure that I wore gloves so I didn't mess them up before I left. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just creating a base layer because I'm going to be building her extension with natural. So I'm creating like a bonding gel layer. Go ahead and put that in. I'm going to get my natural pink out. If you are a lover of natural pink, natural cool pink, the UV gels, this is a UV, not an LED gel. I'm the only one carrying this now in the US. So if you want some of this particular gel, which is one of my very favorites and has been for 20 years, you can get it at Love Nails, but it's a great gel for building extensions because it's not super runny, it's not super thick, it's right a middle viscosity, and it makes for a really perfect extension. So I'm going to roll this onto the middle of the nail. So I have a little bit of an arch, and I'm going to pull it over to the sides. Now, I just remembered that she's thinking, she goes kind of clear. So what I want to do is actually create a tip out of a natural. I just remembered this. So because she's going with a clear base, we want to give her the illusion that she has a natural nail grown out other than a clear nail. So I'm going to let her go in the light while I get my French white out. And clean my brush off. So I'm going to pull out a natural white, and I have a couple. What's the first one I'm going to find? Let's Control Ultra White. French white. Okay. So this is our UV French white, which is available until we are sold out. And then you can use the Control Ultra White. But this is our UV French white. And I really like it because it's semi-translucent. And it's really going to give this illusion that she has a natural nail without it being a stark, stark, stark white. It also will blur a little bit at the smile line so that it will give the illusion that it's a natural nail as opposed to a non-natural nail. So it's obviously still going to be a little bit whiter than her own natural nail, but because it's translucent a little bit, it's not going to be like a stark, stark white. So it's a nice trick for being able to do this. Now, if you have a white, say like Control Natural White, and it doesn't have enough translucency for you, just take a form and mix a little bit of clear in it to do this effect. Using a flat brush and holding it flat was the best tip you ever gave me, Jess. Thanks, Robin. I'm so glad. It is a really important tip. Holding that brush flat is essential to getting a smooth application so you don't have to finish file. Well, hey, Brandy Cool. I see you peeking in. All right. Come on back. So this is starting to set up. Now you have to remember that UV gels take a little bit longer to set up than LED gels. Now I'm going to go ahead and build this extension out like I was going to do before when I realized that this is not going to be a colored nail. It's going to be a clear nail, and I needed to create a little bit of a nail to it. All right. It doesn't need a lot, but I want to make sure I have enough here that when I go to file it, I have strength. You can't make your nails flat when you're doing an extension because they will break. So you need to make sure you have a bit of an arch in there. When their natural nails have grown out, they can be more flat, but when it's an extension, it's a new nail, you need to make sure you have an arch in there. All right, that's gonna be good enough. Go ahead and put that in. And we'll continue on filling the other hand and then come back and just do that Trinity. All right, here we go. So this is hand number 2. So again, I'm holding my brush totally flat on the nail. You push it up near the cuticle, leave that 1 week gap. Put any excess back in your pot if you have too much on your brush. And then gloss over the nail just like a top coat. Brush any excess off the front. We're gonna freeze 2 seconds, please. Ah, Svetlana. Oh, I love her. Are you going to Berlin, Lana? Next year's Accents meeting is in Berlin, and so cashed in some miles and off we go. It's my and hubby's 5-year anniversary already, which I can't believe. And so after our class and meetings in Berlin, we are going to pop down to Greece. You done Greece?
No, not yet.
Me neither. Jared's been when he went and he did backpacking when he was like 19, so he did it then. It's been a minute. He's not 19 anymore. But I've never been. So we're going to do our meeting and our classes in Berlin and then pop down to Greece. Oh, you're not going. So sad. I'm thankful for Miles. That's how we get anywhere. That's for sure. All right. And then when this one pops back in, I'm going to grab that thumb again, and I'm going to fill around the cuticle where I didn't put the natural. And that's going to give me my finished smooth nail. Just checking this. It was a little bit heavy on one side. Okay, 2 seconds. Oh, Terry, you're so funny. I did have one old client that tried, Terry asks, I wonder how much I'd be a train wreck if I tried doing this myself. And I have one sweet, lovely client whose husband was like, you need to stop getting your nails done and driving 2 hours, because she lives a good 2 hours away. And so she tried it on herself, and it, takes like 6 hours. And she made him watch the baby one night, and he's like, are you still working on it? She's like, yeah. And he finally was like, how much did you pay to go get your nails done? He's like, maybe you should do that again. So she came back, but I'm like, yeah, it looks easier than it seems. I'm sure you would be very highly successful at it, Terry, but it's very time consuming. All right, so that's filled in now. Can you put your whole hand in for me, please? And the last thumb. When I built her nail on this one, I used a warm coverage pink. So there's just a smidge left on this one nail, but it's almost gone. But she's done really well. And I know a lot of you nail techs out there are used to meeting nail biters, and I'm a nail biter. If I don't have my nails on, can't function. But she's doing really, really well. Highly successful for a nail biter. This is her first one that she's demolished. So that's not bad. I
did it because I knew it was coming today.
Never a good excuse. Okay, go ahead and put that in. All right, I'll show you keep that hand in. I just want to make sure it's fully cooked while I get your white so I can show you what it looks like. All right, So this is Koi. It's really popular for baby boomers as well, which is kind of that French look, but it goes on as a sheer white with one coat. Do you want to try it, or do you want to be more of the neutral again?
I'll do that before I go to Panama.
Okay.
Do it
All
next
right.
time.
So we'll just do the one coat of blush, which did last time.
I like it though.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's not that stark.
It's not a stark white. No, it goes on like a creamier white.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now I can take this form off. And depending on how smooth it is, I can file the whole surface or I can just file around the edges. It's pretty smooth, but there's a little bit more bumpiness than I like. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove the tacky. Koi is my client's favorite at the moment. The closer we get into summer, I feel like we do a lot more white nails. And Koi is white without being like paper. What is that called?
Liquid paper?
Liquid paper, yeah. So she likes them really short, so we're going right above the fingertip here. But she goes 5 weeks, guys, so starting out short. She also is an acupuncturist. Well, you use pressure too. Pressure and puncture. So she needs to be able to feel and palpitate the skin. So we keep them relatively short, and that gives her time for them to grow out before she's got to come back in. So I'm just making sure this is shaped. It was really almost a squarish shape naturally, so I'm giving a little bit more of a nice rounded shape. And then we're going to bring it in the corners so that they're not sharp. All right. But see how the white, using that clear white gives you the illusion that it's your own nail has actually grown out, which is great.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. All right, so this is all ready for blush, but I won't bore y'all with just a coat of blush and finishing. But I did want to show you guys how to fix a nail biter nail. And if you need to separate and make your own form, how to do that. So hopefully that was helpful. And for all that joined me in the live, I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. And we will catch you next time. Bye.